Crackheads, welcome back to another episode of the Kraken Cans Podcast. The podcast we talk all things cryptid.
You hit a thangs.
Oh, I did.
I like it. I like it.
All things urban legends.
Mm-hmm.
And all things spooky.
Spooky. Yeah.
I'm Corey, and that's Corey with an E. Sitting here with Mike.
With a C.
M-I-C.
That's right.
Baby.
We're
drinking some good beer today. We got a good topic on tap.
Yeah, we did record last week. I was thinking we didn't.
You just listened to the version. You just took your half out of it, so all you heard
That's
was
all
me.
I heard was Corey. There's a lot of heavy breathe, a lot of throat clearing.
Throat cleared and heavy breathing, baby. That's what we do. Put on a t-shirt.
That's it. I like it.
Throat cleared and heavy breathing. So today, boys and girls, we got the Goatman.
Who breathes rather heavy, is from what I heard.
I'm sure.
I don't know. I bet a goat man would breathe heavy. I was wondering, So when the anatomy of a goat man, so we're talking about like a goat head with a human body, where does the goat anatomy stop? Like, is it just a goat head? Or does he have like the lungs of a goat?
Yeah, I don't know.
The liver of a goat?
Or is it like Narnia with Professor X?
Puh.
You never saw Narnia?
No.
Oh, it's like I don't know what kind of animal he is. Half something.
All right.
But his head is like a normal human head, and then like...
But he's like animal body?
Yeah.
What kind of animal?
I forget what he is. He's like one of them freaking mythological stupid creatures.
He's just one of them there things that's like, this is stupid.
I don't know. I think it's oh shit, what is he?
Oh, people are gonna be so mad if you can't. The Narnia fans are gonna be freaking out right now.
I'm already like making the potheads mad. I'm
not good.
Say it might be a fucking goat.
A goat? It might be a goat. He might be haunting a bridge right now.
I don't know. Somebody just... I'm not thinking anymore. I'm not using any more brain power on this. You guys just tell me what he is. All right? Professor X.
Professor X.
Young Professor X. Anyways. Want to get into beer, or you want to tell me something, a fun fact, something that's new about you?
Ooh, fun fact about Mikey time. Okay. Let's see. Our truck's broken again at work. So we're just driving around in a stupid van instead of like a big truck, and makes the days go absolutely forever, and it's completely miserable, and
so my
life has no meaning. And
are you just going around looking at telephone poles?
I mean, I'm going out and helping like another guy where their truck's not broken, but it's ridiculous.
I thought you were doing some scouting. Like the next storm, that one's going to blow down.
We kind of do. Well, we do scouting in the way of like going to look at old work orders to see why they're not closed out. So yeah, and it sucks. It really sucks. But yeah, that's about all that's new with me is that makes me miserable at work when I just can't do anything.
Yeah.
How about you? Well, you told me how miserable you were today.
I was so miserable today.
You had to park in a parking lot you didn't like.
I was listening to a podcast that made me very angry.
Dude, some podcasts make me irrationally angry at times.
Well, it set me off as soon as I got in my truck.
Yeah.
So then I'm angry driving to work, and then I get into the town where my work is, and it just so happens that it's that one day out of the month where everybody has court. So then, therefore, the parking lot that Corey has to park in for work is filled with all these McAssholes.
That's Corey with an E.
Yeah, Corey with an E.
Yeah.
Probably a bunch of Corys without the E going to court, though.
I can only imagine.
Anyway, then I got to park 3 more blocks away in a sketchy-ass parking lot with probably nails, needles, who knows what, laying in the stupid ground there.
Dildos.
Yeah, a bunch of dildos.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I was heated this morning. I went into work, sat down at my desk, and said, I'm not doing shit today.
And did you do anything?
I did a little bit.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you got to do a little bit. Makes for a long day of not doing anything.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
So, yeah, that's new with us. Man, we live some
boring-ass lives.
We do. But guess what, Corey? We got New Trail Brewing Company again today. Hey.
Sponsorship,
which we do we almost have like a mock sponsorship with them right now.
Yeah.
So
like trial sponsorship.
It is like a trial sponsorship. So they are comping us some beer for the cast. This was not comped. I had already bought this before all this went down. But for the future, they will be comping us beer for the cast, which we very much appreciate, which is awesome. Thank you, New Trail. But today, and I'm not going to get into the description of the brewery because this is like our 8th or 9th New Trail we've had on the episode. If you can't figure it out, New Trail is like our jam.
Williamsport, PA. Go PA, USA.
Home of the Little League World Series, Williamsport.
Go Dogs.
Go. Well, he got into it. You go. Just go. Roll with it. It's awesome.
Roll Tide.
Roll. Shit. We're all over the place. Go Trojans. What the hell? So today we have New Trail Ma Bach. This is a traditionally brewed rendition of the style, a layering of Pilsner, light Munich, and Vienna malts leading to a profile with a rich flavor of European influence, medium-bodied and pale with a lately toasty quality. Tettnang, I don't know if I might have butchered that one. Tettnang hops provide a delicate background.
I got my tetanus shot. Don't worry, dude.
Spiciness. And I thought this beer was going to be darker, just from what I knew of, like, Bach's. I thought it was going to be a little bit darker when we poured it. Visually, it's pretty light.
It is pretty light.
But yeah, it's tasty, but we'll get into that. But why I picked this beer, Corey, I have a good one. Now, there's the obvious. There's a goat on the can. Talking about Goatman, this is like a creepy. This goat reminds me of the goat from the Witch movie. Did you ever see that one?
Like the witches?
No, like Witch, like the newer Witch movie. Witch.
From like the Wizard of Oz?
No, I would have said the Witch from Wizard of Oz.
There's a movie though with the witch from the Wizard of Oz. I don't know what it's called.
No, not Wicked.
Okay.
No, not Wicked. It's not a flying monkey on my can, Corey. It's a freaking goat. It reminds me of Black Phillip for you educated people that have seen The Witch from 10 years ago.
Why do you have to be educated to see that?
Because it was...
There's probably a lot of uneducated people out there that have seen it too.
Doubt it. It's one of those weird movies where it's like, I don't know, confusing. There's a crow that's eating a woman's nipple. Anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, it reminds me of Black Phillip.
I'm going to have to watch it now.
Yeah.
For research purposes.
It is. Yeah, for research. And for nipples.
That's the research.
But yeah, that's what the goat on the can reminds me of. Well, I picked this beer. We need to get into the style a little bit. So a basic box style is from the 13th century. German origins and a stronger style of ale. So usually around 6.3 to 7.2% alcohol per volume. Some as high as 12 in Germany. Though one or two generally won't rip your face off. They'll get you after a while.
The goats or the beers?
The beers.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the goats, I don't know. First brewed in the central town of Einbeck, it became awfully popular in Bavaria. Okay? You follow me? So
Gotcha.
We're popular in Bavaria, where their dialect caused them to pronounce the town Einbeck, meaning billy goat in German. Hence the common appearance of a goat on the labels.
So is that why they have a goat on this?
That's why they have it.
Oh, shit. That's a nice looking goat, too.
Yeah. So because it was brewed in the small town of Einbeck, but they couldn't pronounce it in Bavaria, they would say Einbeck. I don't know. They said it weirdly or whatever, but that means billy goat in German. So that's why goats are associated so much with Malbox, which I think is kind of cool. I never knew that.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Corey's learning today. He's learning. What movie are you going to watch?
Witch.
No, Wicked.
Wicked.
The musical.
No, I'm not watching Wicked.
Witch.
The Witch.
I don't know if it's Witch. It's like Witch, but I feel like it's like two V's to make the W at the beginning. Witch.
Maybe there's no W. Maybe it's just Vitch.
Itch. It's just a guy scratching his back. Really weird movie, but the people of Portland love it because you know how I feel about the people of Portland.
Yeah.
If you're from Portland and you listen to the cast, hell yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Hang around a bit. I'll grow on you, I think. I'm like a mold. Just keep on growing.
Keep on showing, baby.
All right, Corey, what do you notice from this can?
There's goat.
Yeah, there's really not a lot going on except for the goat. I mean, it's a sick ass goat.
It's a sweet freaking goat.
Yeah.
Do you think that goat looks like a good goat or like a bad goat?
I think it looks like a bad goat. That's what it reminds me of Black Phillip, who is like a bad guy in the Vavitch. What do you think?
I like to have him like on my wall.
Well,
we could like put him right down here on the backdrop of the cast.
Like the goat?
Yeah, the goat.
The live goat. You could have his head peeking through the wall.
And his ass hanging out the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're saying. Then we could feed him and he could shit outside
Yeah, exactly.
and he's not shitting inside.
Foolproof.
Then Sully, my dog, would be.
He'd be in hog heaven because he would think all that poop he can eat.
Well, he'd be doing some other stuff too.
You're right. He gets a little frisky. He's got a little Mississippi leg hound in him.
Yeah, he does.
All right, let's toast this up and let's get into Un Goatman. What do you think of the beer, though?
I think it's a good beer.
It is good.
You get that like maltiness, a little bit of like the bready, toasty flavor.
Yeah, it's 6.6, but I feel like it drinks really light.
It does drink really light.
It's tasty. It's really good. This is I'm usually not big on, and I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a Pilsner style, but I feel like it's a little more on the Pilsner side, which I'm usually not crazy about. This is delicious, though. So go out and get yourself a New Trail one. And when people are like, dang, what made you buy this? Kraken Cans Podcast did. That's the podcast that talks all things cryptid, all things urban legends, and all things spooky, and you should listen to it. That's what you should tell everybody at your local beer store.
You know what else you should tell them, too?
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
After that,
yeah,
tell them go give us a 5-star review because we would greatly appreciate
5-star review. Yeah, we need some reviews. We haven't gotten reviews in a while.
We got a 5-star on Spotify like over the weekend.
Yes,
I track that stuff, folks.
Boy. Yeah, that's cool. I don't. I'm not good at tracking anything. We have any more followers on Facebook?
We got like 2 in the last day or 2.
Hell yeah. We're freaking pumping them out, folks. At this rate, we're going to have like 1,200 followers in like 12 years. So hell yeah. But with that, let's dive on into
Goatman.
The Goatman. All right, before we dive into this episode, let's get into our sources. So I have 4 primary sources for this episode. We Denton Do It, which is kind of a play because this is in like Denton, Texas. So We Denton Do It.
We Denton Do It.
Oh, no, you didn't.com. CVNTNation.com. TexasStandard.com. And a little bit Corey off YouTube for this one.
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com. So we're going to get into the backstory and the birth of the Goatman. You know anything about Goatman? So this is, and I want to preface this by, I'm going to be primarily talking about the Goatman of Goatman Bridge, because there is 2 Goatmen. There's also a Goatman, which we'll get into later, that hangs around Virginia, around one of our other friends that we talked about in the cast. So we'll get into that later. So rattle your brains to see if you can think of who he hangs out with.
Bunny Man.
That's it.
Son of a bitch.
He hangs out right near Bunny Man Bridge. There could be squabbles over that.
I'm pretty sure I have a hat upstairs with a goat on it, and pretty sure
it says milk me.
No, it's a fucking look. You got me cursing, son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure I wore it on an episode, and I think somebody on some of our fine folks over there at YouTube, I think one of them fine gentlemen commented on it and like was like saying something about the devil and going in all kinds of sorts of stuff.
Man, people are crazy.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Corey's afraid to wear that one, but he's got his goat shirt on today, so we'll see what you freaking absolute savages on YouTube can do for us today.
Yeah.
All right, so Corey, we're going to talk about the bridge first before we get too much into the Goatman. So the bridge, also known as Old Alton Bridge, was built in the mid-1800s to serve the primary throughway to get from Denton County to Dallas, with Denton County being just northwest of Dallas. In 1988, this bridge became part of the National Register of Historical Places, but really, at the end of the day, none of this could change the fact that it was known locally as the legendary Goatman Bridge.
So you said this connected what?
This connected Denton County with Dallas.
Okay.
So the backstory. The story of the Goatman all revolves around a man named Oscar Washburn. Now, to put it in perspective, Oscar was an African-American man, a successful African-American man at that, in Texas, in the South at this time. So we're talking 1930s. There's a lot of hate and prejudice. Oscar had a very large goat farm near the bridge.
You said Oscar had a very large.
Oh,
he wanted to go. I was
man,
sorry.
my
mind is just in the gutter.
So him and his wife, oh jeez, and kids. Oh, this got weird. Were known for their goat milk and goat cheese, along with their leather and other goat-made products. People would come up from Dallas to be able to get stuff from their farm, which was directly across the bridge. So this prompted Oscar to hang a sign proudly for all to see, stating to turn into his farm right off the bridge for his goat products. And as more and more people came traveling through, they stopped in to see his farm. And over time, he started to have more and more success. This was allowing his farm to grow and bring success to him and really just his whole family. So as he became more successful, he started to infuriate some of the racist locals. More specifically,
The whites.
the whites, yes. The
Fuck 'em. Sorry.
the very whites of the Ku Klux Klan. The KKK.
Well, yeah, fuck them, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can say that.
Yeah, as long as you're let's just Corey's talking about the white folk that are racist, not he's not on the side of the KKK members.
Yeah.
I feel like when you just throw it out there,
Please
it's like,
clarify
wait, whose
that.
side is he on?
Yeah.
It's like he's on the right side, people.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I'm on your side, folks.
Maybe, hopefully, yeah. The KKK members decided that it was time to get together and teach Oscar a lesson. They rode out to his farm in the thick of night and drug him out of his home. They drug him all the way up to the bridge, where they had a rope and noose waiting for him.
Is this a true story? Or is it just like one of them, like...
Maybe. Could be. He screamed for mercy, said he would leave the area, just let him and his family go, but the members didn't care. They placed the rope on his screaming head, and they threw him off the side of the bridge, and all fell silent. The members did what they had come to do. Send a message not just to him and his family, but to all the other African Americans in the area that they were not welcome, and with success would ultimately lead to extermination at their hands. The man walked down to the side of the bridge to get Oscar's body so they could show their trophy off to all the locals. When they got there, to the end of the noose, it was empty. Not only was it empty, but the water below was totally still, completely undisturbed. The Klansmen were angry. Oscar must have somehow slipped the noose and ran home. They angrily headed to his home, and while his family was inside, they torched the house, burning his family inside, screaming and pleading for help. The members knew that hearing the screams, Oscar would run over, and the home burned, and the screams eventually stopped. But Oscar never came. He was never seen again. What do you think of the story so far, Corey?
I think that old Oscar turned into the Goatman.
Well, that's a pretty safe assumption.
Okay.
Old Oscar was a warning. If the Klansmen of the goats,
Dude, either that or he turned into a wiener. Oscar Mayer.
Oh, a foot long.
Yeah. Hey, but just hold on a second. Before you go any farther,
Yes.
I just want to say...
Hit it, Corey. I know you're proud of this. Hit it.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Or as I called it, the Narnicles of Cronia.
My boy, Mr. Tumnus, played by young Professor X, is a half goat, half man.
Half goat.
That's what I said.
He
so,
is the goat man.
Here, I'll show you right
but
there.
not of a bridge. Oh, he's kind of a dweeby goat, though.
He's
Also,
a fawn.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's definitely a dweebier goat,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, but that's him. So
He's not as badass as, like, the one on our can.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like, if you would, like, put that in there, like, if you put
Yeah,
that
he'd kill
goat
him.
in there,
He'd kill him.
yeah, he'd rip his face off.
Freaking right.
Hell yeah. You know who else? Never mind. Just,
Who else would rip faces off, Corey?
he'd rip Harry Potter's face off, too,
Oh,
you son
jeez,
of a
here we
bitch. Go ahead. Just before we get into that, I get pissed off.
Not with the elder one.
Hey,
Anyways.
Hey, you know what I was thinking about that,
what
though?
were you thinking about that?
Because you made the whole argument about Wolverine being, he had to get stuff put in him to make
Right.
him invincible. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Right.
What would Harry Potter be without his stupid little stick?
Not a wizard.
Exactly. So
He's a wizard.
you take that son of a bitch's stick away, then what is he?
Well, he's still a wizard. He can still cast spells.
Without his stick?
He could just get another stick. Plenty of sticks around.
Yeah, but what if you don't let him get a stick?
What, you just gonna steal all the trees in the area, Wolverine? Oh, look at me! I got little long fingernails. I'm just gonna go cut trees down and stuff.
So he could just pick up any stick and it turns into a...
Oh yeah, for somebody of his power. Oh yeah, guaranteed.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, John Wick would kill Wolverine too, but that's a whole other discussion.
Hey.
He's a man of focus. Anyways,
All right.
so now over time, the locals began to see and hear things coming from this bridge. Local teens would dare each other to go onto the bridge, either on foot or in car, and knock on the bridge 3 times or honk their horn 3 times and wait. So it's giving me a lot of Charman vibes,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Or even like the Bunny Man too, like you
Yeah,
said,
it's
like,
always about taunting them, you know?
always the teens going out on the bridge.
Soon after doing this, it's said that you would start to smell the stench of rotten flesh and a growl from under the bridge. Some teens even claim that they were able to see red eyes glowing and the shadows of what looked like a large man with the head of a goat coming from the surrounding woods. And the legend of the Goatman are said to chase those who dare taunt it off the bridge. The sound of hoof prints coming across after you. During the years, there have been reports of people that have just gone missing from the bridge and the surrounding woods. Was this bridge like other bridges we've talked about? Not just a bridge to simply cross the creek, or was this a bridge to cross over into an underworld full of hate and demons and revenge? So I think it does have a lot of similar vibes to the Charman. Like I said, I've been on a bridge kick lately.
Yeah, you've been on a
I've
man
been
kick
freaking
and a bridge
bridging
kick.
it up,
And hey,
dude.
You give us a man with a bridge, this son of a bitch is
I'm doing
in.
it. I'm doing it.
He don't care what the story's about.
It's really true. I do like a man in a bridge.
Yeah.
You give me a man in a bridge.
It's like, oh.
You want me to say a story about old hobo Dan that lives under the bridge? Son of a bitch, I'll give.
Yeah.
If he's Dan Man, I'll take care of him.
He'll talk about his frying pan too.
Yeah, his fingernails. I was gonna say.
Oh.
Seemed like he would have long fingernails.
Yeah.
Dan Man under the.
I wanted to say before you finished, there's like a covered bridge that's close to us, within probably 20 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you ever heard like the stories about that bridge.
Yeah.
Like growing up in high school and stuff, but like me and some of my buddies, went out there in high school, and like the story is like if you go out there, you park your car on the bridge, turn it off, like you can hear like little kids.
Like or is that where you hear the footprints through the creek?
No, you could hear
Okay.
like the story is basically like there was like a school bus of kids that crashed there in the creek, like the school bus, whatever, it crashed and like all the kids died.
Okay.
So like the story is, if you go there and park your car on the bridge, you can hear them like, talking, crying, whatever, screaming, like whatever you can hear. And then when you drive so you're supposed to put like baby powder, like sprinkle baby powder on your
I have
car.
heard of that part.
And then when you like drive your car away and like get out and look, there's little fingerprints on your car.
Yeah.
So like we did that, and there was little fingerprints on our car, but like the thing is, you don't know if the fingerprints were already on your car.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm
could just be
saying?
picking
Like
up,
it's
yeah.
just, but like that. I mean, it was cool to see, but I'm pretty skeptical myself because I like to try to just debunk everything, and like my thought is there was probably already fingerprints on the car, and when you drove away, it just picked up those other fingerprints.
Yeah.
But like it's still like a paranormal bridge story that's close to us. Probably not true. Probably just something that somebody
Was there a
made up.
man in it?
Nah, kids.
Nah, not interested.
bus.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was like Jaeger Man Bridge, I'd be in.
Or like a man down by the river.
Yeah. Living in a van
By the bridge.
by the bridge. Yeah, it's interesting because there's not really any like specific story of this creature taking people, but I guess over the years there have been people that have gone missing from this area. We'll also get into this in a little bit of maybe some other reasons why people have gone missing from this area.
Have you looked up any pictures of the bridge? Like
Yeah.
How high are we talking, like, the bridge? You know what I mean? Like, do you know, like, roughly how many feet from, like, just where the bridge to the ground?
I don't know that part of it.
Like, if you would fall off the bridge, would you survive, probably? Would you die?
I think you would survive.
Yeah.
It's, like, not a super far, like,
Drop.
fall from this creek into this creek below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always wonder when I, like, hear about bridges and stuff and, people falling off it or whatever. I always think about how high how far
Yeah.
are they dropping?
And this bridge was actually used by cars up until like 2002. And this was only a single lane bridge. So, but like up till 2002, you'd have to like wait on one side of it, drive through,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of, and when you look at it, it's an older bridge. I mean, it's like mid 1800s this bridge was put in.
Damn.
So it's kind of withstood the test of time a little bit. But I kind of wanted to get into, and I'm just going to briefly hit these, some notable examples of other KKK crimes in Texas at around this time. The lynching of Alan Brooks. This was in 1910. So all these stories are like quite a bit earlier than this one, but
And these ones are all like legit stories.
yeah. While not explicitly stated as a KKK-led event, a mob of 10,000 people lynched Alan Brooks right in downtown Dallas, 1910.
Yeah.
And I believe this is the story where they like claim that he like whistled at a woman or something like that. I could be wrong there.
That's crazy because that's only like a little over 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's not that long. That's what I always think
Yeah.
of whenever you read into stories of World War II.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
No.
It's not that long ago that the Polacks rode into battle on horses
Oh, here we go again, folks.
while the Panzers crested the hill. Anyways.
Best weapon to find, folks.
Yep, Polish guns. Never fired and only dropped once. The targeting of Alex Johnson in 1921. Members of the Dallas Klan abducted and whipped Alex Johnson, a bellhop at a local hotel, carving KKK into his forehead to instill terror in his entire community. This is an interesting thing. It's called Whipping Meadow at the Trinity River. The Dallas KKK used a designated whipping meadow to flog individuals they deemed, quote-unquote, wrongdoers, flogging 86 people alone, 86 people in one spring in 1922. And then there was the lynching of Manuel Cabeza. KKK members killed him all because he was married to and living with a white wife. So these are all, we're in the 20s, but we're only talking about the 30s with this one. So really, I'm sure they took some steps in the right direction, but we're not talking that far out of what happened 10 years earlier in Dallas.
Yeah.
So just kind of set the stage for what kind of hate and prejudice we're dealing with in this area at this time. All right, Corey, you want to take a beer break quick?
Beer break. All right, we're back.
We're back. Beer break. Beers are filled. Bladders might be empty. Who knows? But that's going to get me into maybe the kind of the second half of this story, Corey. And the second half has a lot of truth to it. So when we get into these urban legends and stuff, the Goatman Bridge and all that, sometimes it's like, there's this story, whether this guy existed or not. These are all things that have actually been like seen and discovered in this area. So with the legend of the Goatman Bridge and all the other local legend, this led to some very real things happening in the woods surrounding the bridge. This became a local hangout, not just for teens or parties, but of a place where satanic groups would meet and perform sacrifices in the woods. Trying to summon a demon or create a portal in the area, they would sacrifice things like cats and even dogs in the woods. It started to get so bad that they actually had to stop selling cats at the local pet stores in the area. So having a place like this, with a legend as violent and angry as the one we talked about, wouldn't it make a perfect area to just open this portal?
I thought you were going to say open like an animal shelter.
What? Maybe that too, I guess, yeah.
We're trying to save the animals, folks, not...
There was actually, like, I was watching some of the stuff on YouTube and all that, and there was locals that did tours and stuff like that of Goatman Bridge, and they actually said they found, like, altars, because they would only go in the daylight, a lot of these people that did the tours. So there were actually altars that were built so, like, intricately in the woods that they had a hard time believing that humans built these altars.
Like they were built that good?
They were built that good in the woods.
Damn.
Yeah. With that, or are we talking about maybe the story fueling all these people coming there, making all these sacrifices, starting to open something that maybe they weren't ready to open?
Or we just had some professional altar makers coming in the area.
Dude, there's some pictures of these things. They're freaking bad. Like, they're big-ass stones just carried to, like, the middle of the woods for some of these altars.
That's like the pyramids.
Yeah, well, kind of. They
Right.
had slaves back then that they used for the pyramids.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of conspiracies about those
There
pyramids.
is. You should do a whole episode on it.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I think we could split one.
No.
It's a lot of work, folks.
Yeah, no.
I don't know about that.
Maybe get a slave. Just like that's what they did for the pyramids. Oh man, maybe not the most appropriate.
Well, I
joke.
claim you.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Okay.
All right, and Corey, there's also a lot of ghost hunters and stuff in this area have constantly gotten this name on their EVPs in the area of like what the name of this goat demon is. I need you to throw out a guess because it is like the greatest. Like, I don't know. If I could name a demon, it just cracked me up that this is the name that this thing was.
Well, it's not Oscar, right?
No.
It's nothing to do with Oscar.
But it's like not very, like, don't think of an intricate name or anything crazy.
Budapest.
No, you're getting way too crazy.
Okay. All right. Doug.
No, you're getting closer.
Bill.
Maybe. So this thing's named Steve.
Oh,
It's
shit.
just Steve.
I was getting closer.
You
You're
were.
right.
It's like when you put the first one out, it's like, whoa, back it up to much more normal
Yeah.
name. Yeah, Steve.
Steve.
So there's this crazy story about a KKK leader in the area of the bridge. Goes by the name of Steve, and there were so many accounts of people.
Blues Clues.
Tell you what we'll do. We'll sit down in a think chair,
Think.
think.
When you
use our mind, take a step at a time. We can do anything that wanna do.
Pow.
Wow, that was freaking weird. Man,
What the fuck just happened?
the hell happened?
What the hell?
That was awesome. We need to do more Blues Clues stuff. Oh man, shoot.
That was good.
All right. So anyways, he goes by the name of Steve, and there's so many accounts of people getting EVPs and voice box responses that just say Steve. Steve's believed to be a former KKK leader that has a scary and tragic backstory. See, Steve was just a super abusive man and said to have had many wives over the years. The fourth was a woman that is said to have poisoned herself just to kill herself at the thought of having to marry Steve. The scariest part, though, isn't the suicide. No, instead it's that after she died and when her body was found, it was said that there were signs that it was being cannibalized after her death.
By who?
Steve. Freaking Steve.
I always knew he was a weirdo.
So could Steve not just be a despicable clan leader, but also a raging cannibal? Or could he even have been some kind of demon-possessed man so badly just forgone that he just needed to eat his wife's flesh? What do you even say to that? Where do we go from here? Steve, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, Steve.
Steve, man.
Oh, I know what happened. He turned into Joe.
Yeah. Freaking Joe. Yeah, that is what happened. And there's somebody else now.
Yeah, it's my boy watched it. What's his name?
We're shutting the whole show down to figure out what.
No, I fucking know it. It's Josh.
Josh. It is Josh.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's actually pretty good. He does a good job. I just have my own like thoughts because we grew up with Steve.
For sure. Steve's the best, but he's bald
But-
now.
But you know, Josh cannot draw to save his freaking life.
No, and the worst part is he probably doesn't even have to be the one to draw. Why don't they just get somebody that's just hand people?
Just put like a
his hands.
hand, just throw a hand in there to.
Well, like all you can see is the little
Yeah.
tat, you know what
no,
I mean?
but dude, that dude cannot draw. Steve,
Yeah.
that dude is like Picasso-esque.
Yeah. It's true.
But go ahead. Sorry to Blues Clues on this parade.
That's all right. You Blues Clues on me anytime.
Oh.
Whoa. So, Corey, there's been some investigations done at this bridge by some famous people.
Our boy Zach.
Zach.
Yes.
I have a couple of them, but I'm going to start with Zach. So the Ghost Adventure team, which we love to talk about their investigation.
What episode was it? Season?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have that because I just watched a short clip of it on YouTube.
Kind of episode researcher put together are you? If you don't know,
just as much as you.
I knew the episode that they were on for Doll's
You
Island.
didn't even know an episode you were referencing on from our cast, though.
What are you talking about?
We said like the Dolls episode. You didn't hit me with the exact episode number of the Dolls episode.
I sure did.
Oh, yeah, you probably did.
It was the episode, the season. It was the season episode. Blah. I couldn't tell you now.
Yeah, but our show, we don't have seasons.
Oh, I don't give a shit about. I mean, I do give a shit about. Our show.
See, folks, this is the kind of I care about this kind of stuff.
No, I care too. I told him today, I'm poor and we need this cast to take off to get some.
That is what he
money.
said. Yeah.
So I do care.
And I said, Corey, I ain't in it for the money. I'm in it for the people.
I'm in it for the people too. I love the people.
Yeah. Let's take your money. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll give you a kiss though.
He would. All right, so the Ghost Adventure team, which we love to talk about. So there's so many things happen while they were on this bridge. Of course, Zach became possessed. That's pretty normal. Aaron was actually like picked up and thrown 20 foot back. Now they don't have that on video, but by where all his equipment was laying, it had to be at least 20 foot. And there's also said that the still photographer for them
is gone.
Eyes turned totally black, causing her to quit the team immediately after they left.
She just run
Goatman
away.
Bridge.
Just run.
I think as soon like they were just like, all right, cool, the investigation's over. They went back to the hotel and she just said, I'm out. She just bounced. She was gone. And Corey, so doing some research, I think I found my new favorite YouTube pair in BuzzFeed Unsolved. And I know if you guys are into the paranormal, I'm sure a lot of you have seen
Bert and
these
Ernie.
two.
You guys have seen Bert and Ernie, right?
Dude, they're not far off from Bert and Ernie. I'm not kidding. Bert and Ernie might be the best way to describe them. So they're insanely funny. If you haven't watched their show, just picture two guys. One's a believer of the paranormal, and the other just kind of makes fun of him most of the time. I was telling Corey, one of my favorite parts of the episode was they're standing on this bridge, and the one guy's really, he's kind of tense because he's like, I'm scared. This thing's said to be demonic. And he goes, the other guy's like, all right, I'm going to taunt just a little bit. And he just goes, Goatman, fuck you. And dude, I just lost it. Like that is like next level taunting. Like, it's just insane to me.
I can see you doing that.
Absolutely. I would do that. That's why I know there's like certain areas when you go to like ghost hunt there. Like I know Penhurst is a big one where like you're not allowed to taunt. Corey, you know how hard that's going to be for me?
I'm going to have to duct tape your mouth.
You might. When I get down there with Skippy, it's like, hey, Skippy Dippy. Hey, Skippy, you're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Skippy. Hey, Skippy.
Bitch.
Bitch. That would be good. I'd throw that at the end.
You just stop the song and just say, bitch.
Yeah. Hey, Skippy, you're so fine. Bitch. Bam, right there in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, so anyways, these two guys visited the bridge, and they walked through the woods, and the one guy was armed with a squirt gun full of holy water, literally holstered, like not in his pocket or anything. He had a holster made for it that he wore around, which cracked me up. Outside is seeing a few bushes move and them actually doing a Ouija board session on the bridge where the one guy, and I wish I should have put their names on here. I didn't put their names on here.
We just say Bert and Ernie?
We'll say Bert and Ernie. And Bert basically just said, it's Bert's bridge now. That cracked me up. Like he just told the Goatman that it's, and when you go to a lot of like other YouTube people's pages, in the comment section they'll be like, whoa, you're at Goatman Bridge? It's actually John's bridge, because he like said that on their episode. Like everybody like comments that and everybody likes it. So yeah, if you are into just like I would super lighthearted paranormal investigation show, go to BuzzFeed Unsolved. Those two are freaking hilarious. But yeah, they really didn't get too much besides a couple good jokes. Oh, there's another one. These guys are like super popular on YouTube. Sam and Colby, they have like 14 million subscribers, and they visit the bridge, and they go with some other lady, I don't know. They use a spirit box that goes through a bunch of different radio frequencies, and at one point, one of the spirits communicates through it. So you know what I'm talking about. They kind of, it's like, and all of a sudden you'll just be able to hear like dog farts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so they got some responses through it, and one actually just said, just got here. And after they asked,
the response said just
got here. Yeah, that's
here.
what the response said. Like, is anybody here? It said just got here. And then immediately after that, it just said run. Which that was pretty creepy. Yeah. That was a good one.
Well, that was like in the old well, not old, but like WWE Bray Wyatt, R.I.P. But
these WWE references.
That's the one thing he would say. He'd be like, run. And it was just, I don't know. I say that sometimes to my wife.
I usually say runs. I throw an S on it because I have diarrhea.
Yeah, well, you got to run to get there to let it out.
Get out of the way. I was like,
oh, here we go. Another Mike diarrhea story.
no, this isn't a diarrhea
okay.
story, but I thought it was funny because it shows how much my wife knows me. I went into, like, she had to blow dry my daughter's hair tonight, like, before bed, they got a shower and all that. And I was just like, well, you guys are in there. Like, I got to go poop. I'm going to go in the kids' bathroom to go poop. So I'm in there, and they came out, and I got out kind of quick, and I said, hey, I'm going to go grab a shower. And she said, was it that bad? Did you go get a shower after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our computer here is giving us a thumbs up, so it knows.
Yeah.
It knows him.
So yeah, that's how much she knows me. It's just like, hey, he was in there a while.
So that kind of was a Mike diarrhea story.
Yeah, but I didn't even poop, actually. It was just air. But it's still funny, though.
Yeah. It's just a big fart.
Yeah, it was. It's just a big old fart. Also, just normal.
We're losing listeners. It's all right, folks.
But anyways, at the Sam and Colby episode, they also saw like a bunch of copperheads and like water moccasins and stuff like that. So real scary shit to me.
Yeah, F that, dude.
But it has to be said, with all these shows and stuff, this is an outdoor location, and a lot of the locals know when bigger groups are coming to this area. So I think it should be said that
do people live close to this bridge?
Not far from it, yeah. This isn't like a totally like isolated out in the middle of nowhere bridge. I mean, you have woods around it, but you're still, I would say it's like comparable to where we live, like a wooded area. Still, how far is a house going to be from a bridge? So people they're going to go get messed with. You know how kids are. Like, that'd be funny as shit to go mess with some of these, like, like Zach If I could go mess with Zach Baggins tomorrow, buddy, I would be in. I would dress like a possessed doll if I could mess with that.
I thought you were going to dress like him.
Well, I can't pull that off. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have the hair. I don't have the hair.
You could dye it, dude.
A spiky black. It just wouldn't be the same.
You're right.
Thanks for bringing that up, you jerk.
Let's talk about your head.
So, Corey, yeah, thanks. So, Corey, we are in Texas. We're talking about Goatman Bridge. There's also a Goatman that haunts Virginia, we talked about earlier, right up by our boy, the Bunnyman. So, in the dense woods and back roads of Fairfax County, Virginia, particularly around Clifton, whispers tell of a creature, both man and beast. They call him the Goatman. A hulking figure with the legs and hooves of a goat, a man's upper body, and the head of a horned beast. His eyes are said to glow red in the dark, and his presence is usually announced by the snapping of branches or a high-pitched bleating that turns into a guttural growl. There you go. Oh man, that was guttural. But when you say guttural, you just hit it.
I couldn't do it again.
It freaked me out a little bit.
Kind of hurt.
If I had holy water in my pocket, I pulled it out and squirted you a little bit.
I think I pulled a muscle.
Pulled a muscle. You know how you were saying it earlier about we were talking about stuff kind of falling?
Yeah.
Well, this is getting us off topic, and I'm right in the middle of something. I don't even know what made me decide this is the time to talk about it. But Believing the Bizarre, they used to record up in the one guy's attic.
Mm.
They think they opened a portal up there by talking about too much of this stuff. And I was like, damn, I'm glad we do it at Corey's house.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Give a shit.
Yeah. Like the words, the great...
Colonel Sanders.
No, I was going to say Superhuman.
Oh.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
We talk about some Kentucky Fried Chicken, baby.
So, one popular origin story claims the Goatman was once a scientist working at a government facility, or even a nearby asylum, conducting bizarre genetic experiments. According to the tale, something went horribly wrong, either a tragic accident or a twisted self-experiment, and he was transformed into a monstrous hybrid. Another version ties the Goatman of demonic folklore, suggesting he's a satanic entity summoned during a ritual gone wrong, cursed to roam the backwoods forever.
Hey, at least it's not West Virginia.
Yeah, true.
Unless he's into sisters and wives.
He'd be getting banged by his goatee sister, maybe.
Yeah. Unless he's into that, though, you know.
He could be.
Some people are.
Could be. Corey's into it. Comparing to
no, not you son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Corey with
Noe, I meant.
That's right. You heard it here. I know does he listen?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, the other ones that do, that's for you.
Some versions of the Virginia Goatman legend get tangled with another infamous local story, the Bunnyman of Clifton.
Ho, ho, ho.
Both creatures are said to haunt the same bridge and are sometimes described similarly.
Dude, do you think there's like turf wars?
Dude, that's I think so. There's got to be turf wars.
Yeah.
There's got to be turf wars. Axe-wielding human-animal hybrids dressed in rags. It's likely that local folklore was blended over time with the Goatman borrowing elements of the Bunnyman, and not vice versa. The Bunnyman did not borrow from the Goatman. He was,
I think Bunnyman would kick his ass.
dude, I do too. That dude's freaking.
I'm kind of sad he's not on our board.
I know. Just freaking put him up there.
Yeah, he's friends of the cast.
He's friend of dude. I don't know. He might not be a friend of the cast, but I still like him.
He might kill all our friends of the cast.
He just ride champ and just decapitate the Van Meter visitor. Stories of the Goatman often involve him terrorizing teenagers parked in cars, similar to the classic Hookman urban legend. Witnesses claim he's responsible for slashing tires, scratching at car doors, or even attacking those who wander too deep into the woods at night. In some accounts, the Goatman carries an axe or large blade and is drawn to loud music, laughter, or romantic.
So anything fun.
Yeah, pretty much. As it's fueled by the energy of youthful recklessness. People driving in dark, winding roads near Clifton say they've seen strange creatures standing on the side of the road watching. By the time they turn around, it's gone. So I'm going to do a little side-by-side. I like doing these side-by-side comparisons. Been hitting these the past couple weeks.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We're doing a Bunnyman versus Goatman, the Virginia Goat.
Yeah, I did it with Bigfoot and Sasquatch and
Sam Squanch.
The old Skunky.
The Skunk Squanch.
Yeah, him. Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete. Oh. So, all right, we're going to get in the origins. So, as far as the Bunnyman origins, human with a dark past, allegedly an escaped asylum inmate that we talked about in the Bunnyman episode.
What episode that was?
Yeah. So the Goatman, possibly a mutant scientist escaped government experiment or a satanic creature. The people know. The people already listen.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, what one was it? I was
yeah.
fucking know.
What was it, Corey?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was it? It's episode 41.
I was going to say 35.
No, I think it was 41. I got to look it up real quick. I'm feeling 41. 36.
Son of a... I was at 35. All right.
Damn it. All right. Anyways, the Goatman, possibly a mutant scientist escaping a government experiment. Appearance. So the Bunnyman, he wears his bunny costume, sometimes full body, sometimes just a creepy mask. Goatman's kind of like a hybrid. Hairy body, hooved feet, goat-like head. Weapon of choice? Bunnyman's got his axe. The Goatman sometimes carries an axe, but he often
Unless the Bunnyman has it.
Yeah, he often just uses brute strength. The haunt zone, they really haunt close to the same area right there in Clifton County. Which, how crazy is it that one county gets like two just freaking badass creatures, man?
God damn it, I'm jealous.
Some people are just get all the luck.
But we don't get shit.
No. You get nothing but gray hairs.
Well, he gets all them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I get nothing but gray hairs, and you guys get all kinds of freaking cool shit. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Behavior. The Bunnyman, he's territorial and aggressive towards trespassers, while the Goatman stalks lovers' lane, much like the Hookman.
Ooh, triple threat, baby.
The tone of the legend, do you think the Hookman could keep up with like the Bunnyman or Goatman?
No, I think the Hookman's just a normal dude.
Well, not normal. Let's not say normal,
okay, not
but
normal.
Yeah.
But like an ordinary, I guess that's the same as normal. Like he's
a person that's just crazy.
A person.
Yeah.
These people, the Goatman and the Bunnyman, I feel like there's a little bit of like some supernatural shit going on there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, fact versus fiction. The Bunnyman's loosely based on real reports from the 1970s of a man in a bunny suit threatening people. First, the Goatman, which is entirely folkloric or paranormal, not credible, and there's really not any true sightings to it. So, in the ultimate clash, Corey, between the two Goatmen.
You're not gonna ask me, are you?
Not between Bunny Man.
Okay.
Not between
Thank
Bunny
God.
Man and Goatman. This is an ultimate clash between the Goatman of Goatman Bridge versus the Goatman of Virginia. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Texas.
You're freaking right.
Oh,
Everything's
yeah, baby.
bigger in
I'm
Texas.
taking Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas. I think the Goatman of Texas has much more demonic underworld tone to him versus the government experiment going wrong.
Yeah.
So I compare this much towards like Harry Potter is demonic versus Wolverine, who's kind of made in the lab. I had to. I had no idea where I was going with that, but I just had to throw Wolverine in there just to get Corey worked up. But no, I do take like the demonic Goatman of Goatman Bridge. People sacrificing stuff to him. I just take him over the Goatman of Virginia.
Yeah. What about Bunny Man versus Texas Goatman?
Bunny Man versus Texas Goatman, I think you got to clash. Because there is a lot of paranormal elements going into the Bunny Man.
All right, so which one do you think is more ruthless?
More ruthless? Ooh, man, I don't know if there's an answer.
I almost have to say Bunny Man.
And the reason I don't think that I don't know if there's a physical ruthlessness or a mental ruthlessness like level that a demon goat can reach. You know what I mean? I don't think they get like they're so ruthless they don't even give a shit about being ruthless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they don't even care. It doesn't matter to them. But yeah, that's why I think it's really hard because I think like Bunny Man's ruthless as shit too.
Dude just leaves skin on trees and shit.
That's Charman. Oh, you're talking about Bunny Man? Yeah, he leaves bunnies on trees.
I thought didn't he have skin too, or no? Is it bunnies?
No, he just left the bodies hanging from the tunnel.
No.
Yeah.
That's right, bunnies. Well, sorry, too many mans, too many bridges. I can't keep track.
I'm freaking blowing Corey's breath. Wait till I come next week with Bigfoot Bridge. He's gonna be freaking out.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Bigfoot Man Bridge.
Bigfoot Man Bridge. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, my brain really leads to the Texas Goatman of Goatman Bridge. He might be able to take. Like, he's definitely taken the Goatman of Virginia down.
Oh, yeah, that dude's a bitch.
I think he's taken the Bunny Man down. As much, dude, I love the Bunny Man, too. So that's
I feel like there's a little, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm sitting on it a little bit, I'm thinking the Goatman of Texas has a little more demonic energy behind him.
For sure, yeah. Like, he's got, like, followers that have sacrificed to him, done stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But Corey, that's what I got. So you know what we got to do now?
The folklore score?
Folklore score. Let's get it.
Boom. I had to pee.
All right, we're back. We folklore scored it up. And Corey peed because that's what he had to do.
You peed too.
I just tinkled. All right, Corey. Big unveil. What do you got?
26.
I got a 31. This gives us our first 50 for the cast.
What is that? 57.
57. Still not touching the boo hag. The boo hag is just, this thing is like a cat with 9 lives.
It's a skin tag, dude.
Skin tag. Freaking boo hag, skin tag.
Just hanging on, baby.
Corey's bag.
Hanging on my bag. Skin tags on my bag, waiting
That's
to come
right.
off.
So if this is the first time you ever joined us, first off, welcome.
Where the hell you been?
Welcome. Glad you're here. 2 freaking idiots talking about some fucking goat in Texas. Where you been?
A little bit Virginia.
Yeah, a little bit in Virginia, mostly Texas. Well, so we do the folklore score. We have 5 categories that we're going to dive into here in a second. Possible score 1 to 10 in all these categories. So the highest score you could get is 50. We both do it. We add our scores up. 60 was the score to beat on the folklore scoreboard to take down the boo hag, skin tag, sandbag. She's still up there though. She's been up there since like freaking March.
She's been
Fucking
up there.
November is what I meant to say.
Yeah,
Not March. She's been up there a lot longer than March.
Yeah. March.
March. Yeah, not even close. Yeah, she's been up since like October, November. Might have even been before. I don't know. She was early
She's been
episode.
up there a while.
That was a really fun episode. So go on there. It's episode 14. Boo Hag. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Gotta say it with confidence. I don't know. Somewhere up there. So Corey, let's dive down through our scores. Spookiness. I gave it a 7.
I gave her a 5.
Corey let me down right there. Historical, cultural significance. I gave it a 7.
Gave her a 5.
Corey let me down again. Believability. I gave it a 4.
I gave her a 5.
Attaboy. Uniqueness. I gave it a 6.
Gave it a 6.
Now we're thinking. Threat level. I gave it a 7.
I gave her a 5.
A 5. Corey gave 5. The only reason for historical cultural significance is I gave it a higher score just because of kind of touching on some of the racism and stuff like that down there. I just thought that kind of did have more of a cultural significance in that area. So I gave it a little bit higher score there. But really, spookiness, all the rest, they kind of just, they explain themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we're done.
Another one bites the dust.
That's right. If you liked what you heard, go back, give us a 5-star review.
Listen
First
to the rest
off,
of our episodes.
listen to the rest of our episodes. Give us a listen. Tell us what you think. Email us, krakencanscast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're posting pretty much daily through the week on TikTok and YouTube some shorts from our episodes. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Corey?
I was going to say, too, we're still working on our merch.
Still working on the merch. Still working on our buy us a coffee. I'm getting that.
That's all him.
Yeah, that'll be, well, by the time this episode goes up, that's up. So you can hit us for the buy me a coffee.
Yeah. We're working on our hats. Put an order in for some koozies. We're going to be getting some stickers. Hopefully some shirts eventually.
Yeah.
But I can tell you the hats and the freaking koozies are badass.
They are. So if you like what you see, you can message us on, I'm pretty sure with that, yeah.
If you like what you hear.
I'm talking out my butt. But you can send us an email. We'll get something figured out if you are interested in the hats.
Because we got a PayPal set up too, so.
We do. And if you want to see what the hats look like, go check us out on Facebook. We have them.
And the koozies. I put the koozies up.
Yeah, Corey has the koozies and hats modeled over there. Now, there's good and bad to that. The good is you get to see the hats. The bad is you have to see Corey.
Naked.
So, take it. Well, you're wearing a hat.
Naked.
You're wearing a hat, though, so you're not naked.
Well, you're right.
And you're wearing a koozie.
And socks.
He's wearing a koozie.
Over my.
I'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. 5-star review. 5-star review.
And if you only got 4 fingers, boys, it's one more than that.
Yep.
Mike's dumb.
I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I'm out of here.
I'm BK Corey and Mike's dumb.
Corey's stupid. 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 Corey's stupid.